Japan, the land with many culture. One of them in particular has an obsession with turning anything into animators. Literally anything. Kaiju, robots, doctor, you name it. And the topic of this video, horses. Horse racing has been a pretty popular niche in the Japanese community, and in typical Japanese fashion, someone turned them into cute anime girls. One of them, in fact, has been popping up and plaguing the brain rot scene. Tuji Tuji Dan, or the literal translation, Local Chicken and Eggs, is a video created by Yigen Huazai in Bilibili. He's been making these type of content since 19 October 2023, and he's still going at it. In 30th August of 2024, he released the infamous video where we follow
Mambo
wanting an egg and duking it out with a chicken and getting her egg, accompanied with an Indonesian folk song. So this is basically a collab video featuring a character from Japan with a song from Indonesia made by a Chinese person. And now you're probably interested where this character came from. Well, let's see.
アシスタントのマチカネタンホイザーです。
What? Her name is not Mambo? My life has been a lie? What? You let characters with a name like Iconodictus, No Reason, Zen'no?
Oh shit, that's me!
But not Mambo?
Every inch of this place is incriminating!
But I guess it'll be weird if MadPat says his own name every 5 seconds.
Phone guy, Mad Pat.
Oh wait, he did! But in actuality, the naming of these horses aren't random. They are actually named after real horses. Not only that, but their story is also a replica of their real counterpart. If the horse wins, the anime follows that. If the horse loses, they follow that too. If the horse has a unique characteristic, the same applies. If the horse gets injured, they also get injured. But not all are replicated. Thankfully, this could have been her, you know. But knowing that these are the actual horse reincarnated made some interaction really weird. After learning this fact, I became more fascinated into this world. What went from me being forced by my brother to watch this to me witnessing one of the most emotional and well-put story in fiction. As previously mentioned, the story took the actual history of these horses and make a story out of them, and it's just peak. And each installment focused on different characters, so it doesn't really matter where you start from. Let it be the anime, the spin-off, the movie, the games, the manga, the doujinshi.
Feisty little thing.
In this video, we'll go through all official media in release order. Without wasting any further, let's race into the world of Umamusume Pretty Derby. Umamusume Pretty Derby is a mobile game produced by Cygames, available on Android, iOS, and Windows PC. The game first announced at Anime Japan 2016, and later released on Japan on 24th February 2021. Which, by the way, the anime released first, and many others. So for now, let's just sweep this under the rug and focus on the first release, the manga.
一緒に密着目指そうね。
The very first media to came out decided to retell the story of Haru Urara, known as the shining star of losers everywhere, famous for losing for a total of 113 consecutive losses. This manga took the actual personality of the original horse, like throwing tantrums or reacting violently when being saddled, and fleshing out her character. Also, This is like the only media to just feature the actual trainer in it. Honestly, not bad for a first.
トレーナーさんと一緒に日本一になります
Starting Gate stars Special Week, known by the fans as the General of Japan. After beating a strong international field in the 1999 Japan Cup, and Silent Suzuka, a prodigy who's always ahead of the pack, but due to an injury, her racing career was cut short. But that story was more explored in the anime, as this manga explored more on the relationship of each character while serving as an introduction to the series. But because this manga took place very early in the story, there are some major changes between this manga and future installment, like the personality of many Umamusume, for example. Oguri Cup was at first embarrassed for eating a large sum of food, but later on when we learn her origin, she could care less about that. But the most baffling is by far Symboli Rudolph, where we saw her racing, but later on in the prequel, she's already retired. So basically starting Gate aged very poorly.
駆け抜けましょう共に
Okay, time for the anime. Season 1 is, as I already mentioned, kind of an adaptation of Starting Gate. Well, not a perfect replica, where the main gist of the story is relatively the same. However, many details are changed, like in the manga Spechan and Suzuka first met at Tracen, but in this anime she saw her during her race. Or more importantly, how in the manga there's not a single trainer on site. Team Spica wasn't even a thing, but they still hang out though. The manga focused more on the dynamic between each Umamusume, while the anime focused on the racing part, so you can consume both media and still enjoy them. But there's just one main gripe I have for this season specifically. For some reason, this season leaves zero impact for future seasons. Like before, she was a silly and clumsy girl, but determined and eventually achieving her dream, to now just a silly girl who really likes carrot.
Umayon
Umayon is a short comic strip consists of 4 panels per chapter. Each chapter focused on each Umamusume and their unique quirks and personality. Later on, an anime under the same name dropped, with each episode being 3 minutes long. But it's not an adaptation, as both media have completely different content. The only similar thing they have is just that they share the same name and art style. Also, for some reason, they decided to drop that Tracen Academy also houses college, but one of the oldest Umamusume we've known of, Symboli Rudolph, is still a high schooler. So like, huh?
トレーナー頼りにしているぞ
Cinderella Gray focused on the infamous story of a horse titled The Gray Monster from the Countryside. As the title suggests, this manga starts at a countryside of Kasamatsu and showcases us the difference between the peaceful Tracen Academy and the rogue Kasamatsu Training Center. Oguri Cup, who has an impressive track record of 10 out of 12 wins in the locals, now transferred into Central and still dominating the field. This manga, in my opinion, has the best trainer-horse relationship ever. You can just feel his frustration when he has to let Oguri go. But I won't get into too much detail of the plot because as of 6 April this year, the Cinderella Gray anime adaptation is going to be released. I highly recommend you to watch it when it comes out.
帝王を目指して頑張ろうね
Season 2. Oh, Season 2.
I would never
Now
cry to a
this,
man. Let's be honest.
this is what made me fall in love with Umamusume. The story now focuses on Tokai Teo, famous for almost achieving the Japanese Triple Crown, but couldn't due to multiple fractures, but miraculously won the Armekanen even though he has been in a year-long hiatus, and Meijiro McQueen, who is known for being the first to ever defeat Teo and the strongest stayer. The anime adapted this story in the best possible way, and the supporting cast were done very well. The main highlight for me is 100% Rice Shower and Twin Turbo. Rice Shower, famous for being an underdog who won against the undefeated Mihono Bourbon and McQueen, but because the fan favorite lost, she was deemed as a heel and everyone hated her. She just wanted to make everyone happy, man. But the same horse that she defeated greatly admired her, and to her, she is her hero. It's just so good, man. Twin Turbo is known for her runaway strategy, and it was implemented during Taeyeon's supposed retirement and gave her the boost to continue racing. Absolute cinema.
期待していますよトレーナーさん
Finally, after 5 long years, the game finally released. So, how's the gameplay? Each Umamusume has a 7-chapter character story, where you, the player, act as their trainer. You can choose how to train your Umamusume, but during the actual race, you'll just spectate from the stands. Parasocial at its finest. I can see why it has got over 2.4 billion in revenue. But me personally, I just couldn't get the enjoyment from this game. Probably the biggest reason is that it's only in Japanese. How am I supposed to immerse myself in a world I couldn't understand? Guess I'll just have to wait for the global release.
ハッピー甘味物の日だね
Anthology Comic Star, as the name suggests, is a collection of different mini-comics created by different artists each chapter, focusing on the daily life of each Umamusume. Some chapters formatted similarly to Umayon with multiple stories but more fleshed out, while some fit them into interconnected stories, some just focus on one story. It's a very laid-back manga and I recommend it if you prefer the slice-of-life aspect of Umamusume, adapted in different art style. And I ran out of things to say. Umayuru is a short anime similar to Umayon that was released on YouTube via the PakaTube channel. There hasn't been any confirmation whether it's a sequel to Umayon, but I'm sure it's safe to say it is because of their similar art style and format. This time it features way more of the cast, with a main focus on Symbol Chris S and Tanino Gimlet, with the Umamusume up to their silly antics, and I ran out of things to say again. There's like 4 different media adapting their day-to-day life. What else is there to say? I wonder what's next. Oh, come on!
I'm very hungry.
Umamusumeshi is a slice-of-life manga with the main focus being about, you guessed it, food, where for the 5th time, we go through their daily life while they eat the type of food they enjoy. Most chapters are just glorified mukbang video, some are about homemade cooking and showing their process, while some just straight up felt like those food commercial break. But unlike their chibi counterpart while fall asleep watching through it, this is by far the most entertaining out of all of them, where the relationship and bonds of each Umamusume just feel really great. If you're the type to enjoy characters bonding, this manga is for you, and you should totally check this one out.
勝利の桜私が満開にしてみせます
Star Blossom is yet another unique take when it comes to our protagonist, where usually at the start it's all nice and sunshine, then despair next. With this one, we immediately start with despair, as both our protagonists, Takeishi Tsubaki and Sakura Laurel, were already struggling from the get-go. Tsubaki, a sub-trainer with a dream to train an Umamusume to compete internationally, but due to her clumsiness and self-doubt, she began to lose confidence, until she met her. An Umamusume so bright and naive that no matter what goes in her way, she'll get back up and continue to fight on. It's even touching knowing that she has an illness where her legs can easily get injured, but through many hardships and teamwork, they were able to overcome challenges that awaits them. This manga rocks, man. Hell, I'll say it even rivaled Zen'no Gray story-wise. Accompanied with the cute art style, definitely a good read.
一歩ずつあなたと共に
Road to the Top is a spin-off series that also released on YouTube. This anime, I presume, is set in a different timeline, for multiple reasons. But the biggest elephant, or should I say horse, in the room has to be Rice Shower. In here, she is friends with Haru Urara, which they were never seen together in the main anime. It still doesn't make any sense to take place before or after season 2. If it's before, Rice was all alone. If it's after, Orwan was never seen once in this spin-off. But enough about that. In this spin-off, we focus on Narita Top Road, where we see her growth and her overcoming her rivals, eventually winning the Kikuka show. There's also TM Opera O and Admire Vega. But Opera is kinda just there, but don't worry, she'll play a bigger role later. Weakness, mundane task, she's just like me for real. Ayabe's story was done pretty well, but watching her reminded me of a certain someone. Yeah, close enough. Welcome back, Johnny Joestar.
私があなたの夢になる
Season 3 continued from Season 2 with Kita-san Black and Satono Diamond, now grown up, focus on their relationship, which will end up with them becoming rivals in the race course. Getting into Season 3, many people said that Season 3 is not as good as Season 2. Not that it was bad, but because Season 2 was just that good. But I'm here to prove them wrong. This season is good, no, better than Season 2. I mean, I'm a real sucker for characters growing up, and in this season, we get to see characters that we knew and loved retired in real time. Twice. Yes, the new MC, Kita-san Black, who just debuted, also retires in the same season. I mean, there are other horse girls that are already retired, but they were never specified, so this just hurts more. And once again, it's just so surreal seeing the similarities between the anime and the real-life race.
As cool as a cucumber.
With 7 G1 wins under her belt, she performs on stage one last time. Also, this is out of topic, but I don't care what anyone says, but Vivlos is best girl. I know she did literally nothing this season, but that doesn't mean I can like her. Just look at her. S tier.
ゴルシ様に任せときな
I've been neglecting to mention one of, if not the most popular Umamusume, Goldship. Goldship, the horse, famous for his quirky personality and unpredictable behavior. One of the most iconic Goldship history was the 12 billion yen rear incident, where he just started acting up at the gate, causing him to lose and all his fans to lose their bet. This manga apparently explores her childhood. Neat. Let's take a look, and this manga is pure insanity. It takes the concept of fourth wall break times tenfold. The other character we follow is the teacher. She has to be some sort of criminal to be put in this purgatory, and eventually she just accepts Goldship's antics. We also get an appearance of McQueen. It explores their friendship and how they're so close even though they're literally polar opposite. Where McQueen learns to have fun once in a while, Goldship just casually brings chaos all around her. Thank God this is a comedy manga, or this could have been them.
てっぺんの景色見してやれよ
Once again, Cygames just graced us with peak fiction. Beginning of a new era, set in the same timeline as A Road to the Top, now focus on Jungle Pocket, inspired by Fuji Keiseki, set on becoming the strongest Umamusume alive, which leads up to her defeating Opera, who at that time been in a winning streak for a year long. You've probably seen the memes where they compare Blue Lock and this movie's animation. I mean, one is a well-constructed story with many emotional moments, character development, and learning to overcome yourself, and the other is Blue Lock. But in a serious note, the animation here is absolutely stunning. There are some silly moments, but they never miss during the races, like, oh my god, what? It didn't even need to go that hard, but it did. Like, there's just so much stuff I want to talk about this, but I just couldn't find the right word. Even the creator of Your Name says it's peak. So please, if possible, find a way to watch it, by any means. Please, please, please. Will it intrigue you more if I showed you this funny poster? We've been getting straight bangers left and right. Umamusume just never miss.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Party Dash is a Mario Party ripoff, but remove the boards and only consisted of 4 mini games. This thing costs $45. There's like one mini game that looks fun to play, but most of them just get repetitive and boring, and you're charging me 5 Lucky's figure? You're joking. Honestly, I can kinda see the potential this game can bring. But oh well, it's been 6 months, and the game hasn't lowered their price or received any new content beside character DLC. Can't believe I accidentally ended this video on a negative note. On a positive note though, once again, the adaptation of Cinderella Gray is releasing on 6 April, and the eventual global release of the game. I don't know if my
Dog shit.
phone can handle it though. I might have turned it to a bomb, but if it's for Vivlos, then it's all worth it. By now you'll probably understand how this series got so popular in Japan. It took an already popular niche, turned them into anime, and give them a well-made story. But no franchise are perfect. The main criticism this series suffers is most definitely the side characters that got shoehorned in just because they're in the actual race. Even the movie that I highly praise encounters this issue, with characters like Manhattan Cafe and Danzo Flame that barely have a role in the story and just kinda there. But that's only an anime problem, as the game handles each character way better. Umamusume as a series is growing rapidly, and it's only going to get bigger. And recently, they just celebrated their 4th anniversary. Hopefully with the global release, this franchise can prosper and get the recognition it deserves. Cheers for the success of Umamusume.